Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you something different today. So the Battle of the Best Events will be coming out later today or early tomorrow, so do not worry. But I thought, because we had this kind of rumor going around that the next Halloween update was going to include a new feature for the game. Now, it has been leaked on Reddit, or supposedly leaked on Reddit. I'm not going to say what it is here, but people on the Discord have been discussing it. Obviously, it's a leak, so I don't know. I don't want. I just want to be extra careful and not say what it is. I'm sure someone in the comment section will comment it. But basically, it's nothing too amazing. I was really hoping for something really, really cool, but according to the person on Reddit, it's nothing much. It's nothing too major. It's something good for the game for sure, but it's nothing that is gonna wow us like the portrait feature that we got last year, or the Sky Finger Monument which we got last year, which of course lets you collect all the currency, or the selection tool that we got a few years ago that obviously lets you select items to move them or to store them. Yeah, it's not as great as that, but I thought using this opportunity I would actually bring you my top 10 features they should add updated list. Now, I did this a few years ago. I think it was 2017. I think I've actually done it 2 times actually. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I went for a couple of years ago anyway. I went through a few features I want to see in the game. Now, a lot of these are the same from that last list, so I wouldn't recommend going back and watching that video. I'd probably stay on this one because most of them are the same. We obviously haven't got these features. I went back, I've kind of changed my mind in a few things. Certainly, I'm not a massive... I used to be a big fan of, like, for example, being able to send donuts to people, but now I realised how that could easily be exploited, so I've not included that one. I did ask for a few suggestions. I didn't get many. There was one from Spring King, which was to separate things in the inventory or from event, so you can separate by event. I like that idea. I think I've got a better option for that. I think there's a better thing that will be easier to obviously do that. But anyway, we're gonna get into the list. We're going to go from 10 to 1. So starting off, boom. 10 is trade cash for donuts. Because what is the point of cash when you've finished all the levels? And I don't know, I really think that this could be done. Now, XP grinding or XP farming, whatever you want to call it, is really exploited in the game. Now, EA seems to be cool with it because they haven't really done anything to really stop it. Technically, it is a legit form of earning donuts in the game. It's not, it's not against the rules or anything. It's something in the game that you can do. So that's cool. I like that, and people do that. But I think maybe as another option, how about just trading cash for donuts? I know you can obviously buy cash for donuts too, but why not trade them back? Now, maybe obviously, I think donuts should be worth a lot, so like one donut, maybe 1 million. I don't know if that works. I'm not exactly sure how much the cash for the XP grinding, because obviously you've got to spend cash to earn XP most of the time, unless you're obviously sending characters on tasks. So it'd have to be something which was better than XP grinding. I think turning players away from XP grinding would actually be a fairly decent idea, because I'm cool with it, I don't care, but I'm sure EA aren't great. I don't know, maybe they're mixed on it. But I think maybe it's a better option if you can find a solution where players can earn donuts at a similar or better rate than XP grinding. That would be awesome. And I think one of those ways would be being able to trade cash in for donuts. I'm not sure exactly how much, like I said, it'd have to be figured out, but maybe like 1 million cash for 3 donuts, or like 5 donuts or something like that. Like for every million you earn, you can buy a selection of donuts, maybe a dozen. Maybe you can get maybe you get a dozen. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think it would be a great thing. I think cash, for the most part, is really pointless now. Once you've completed the levels, there is absolutely no point in cash. I've not spent cash in years because I haven't designed, right? So I haven't needed to buy all the decorations and stuff. So I've got a massive amount of cash that I'm just never going to spend. And I think a good solution to fix this would just to be able to actually transfer cash to donuts. Yeah, I don't know. I just think this would be a really awesome thing to do. I think it would really show that EA aren't like other freemium games. I've defended Tapped Out in the past. I think Tapped Out is, although freemium games as a concept are kind of shitty, I think Tapped Out is better than most of them. I don't mean to say that Tapped Out's perfect, but Tapped Out in recent years has been fairly better than most of them. At least there are ways to earn donuts. The one things I hate is when they add things to the store. Like when they add, like add the Muscular Millhouse to the store and you have to buy both Muscular Millhouse and a truckload of donuts, wherever it was. But anyway, moving on. Number 9 is placing items on roads, rivers, and highways. Also improving the highways. Now, the one thing I hate about these highways is there isn't like a corner piece. So I want there to be like some sort of corner piece where you can like actually, have a massive row of them. I do like the highways overall. They're a little iffy to like stick together, and because you've got to place them, you got to be really pedantic to make sure they align with the roads and stuff. So I don't know. I wish they were more flexible, is all I'm gonna say. And then on top of that, I want you to be able to actually place things on top of them. So place things on the highway that makes sense. Obviously, you can't place every item on the highway. I don't think that should be done. But certainly the things that make sense to place on the highway, I think would be awesome. For example, stop signs, cars, obviously, things like this. Maybe even lampposts too, but yeah, you could place them next, like in this design here, like they've done here. Also placing things on the rivers. I think boats should be able to be placed on the rivers. Anything that can go in the sea should also be able to go in the river. Obviously, you've got over the Springfield Lake. I really wish that, for example, was like you could integrate it better with the water. And also roads. I really wish you could place cars and stuff on the roads. Maybe even like, the parking meters, things like that. On the pavements as well. So both on the pavements and the roads. I wish you could just place stuff on there, like stop signs, stuff like that. It just helps the town look better. Gives you players more flexibility with stuff. Yeah, I just think that would be far better, and it would help improve some designs and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, that's a major part of the game, of course, is designing and building Springfield up. So being able to have a bit more flexibility is, I think, important. By the way, when I said this was new features, it's technically new features and improvements, because obviously this is not really a feature, this is more of an improvement. But yeah, it's kind of tricky to like have 10 features, but this is something I think is fairly important. Anyway, number 8, cars on the road. And what I mean by this is they actually move, not just you can place them on the road. That they actually move on the road. So basically, I think that there should be a task for most characters in most of the cars that we have in the game, so you can actually drive them around. So basically, say for example, Homer, he should have a task which is drive his sedan or his pink car or whatever you want to call it. And you click on that task, he gets in the car, and he's just driving around Springfield. Alternatively, it could just be on the car itself. There's a little task on the car, you click the car, and drive Homer, bam, and he's driving around on the road. I just think this would be awesome. It would make the town feel more busy, it would feel more realistic, it would just be a really cool thing to have overall. Most of the characters walk on like the pavement anyway, like on the sort of side of the pavement, so it wouldn't be too bad. And when characters pass through each other anyway in the game, so it wouldn't cause too much like texture glitches or anything. Yeah, I just think driving the cars around on the road would be so awesome to see. It'd be a really awesome thing to see. Maybe also if they wanted to get truly invested in it, maybe they could have like a whole system where, if you play, there's like traffic lights and you have to place traffic lights to make sure the cars don't crash into each other or something. I don't know. They could go crazy with this if they wanted to. I just think it would be such a cool feature, just for us to have the cars actually drive on the road. Not a major thing, nothing much. It's not something I'm dying to have, but I'd want it more than this. I'm not I kind of see the argument for placing stuff on roads and rivers, for example, but I'm not crazy about it. And then with the donut thing, maybe this is me being a bit selfish, because obviously I have lots of donuts, but I'm not so bothered about that. But the car's fine. I want the cars on the road. That would be so cool. We obviously have the snowmobile, which is one of the cars that can go on the road, but that's just one. I want them all, especially Homer's car. Like Homer's car at least. I mean, come on. Anyway, 7. Change the weather / a weather cycle. So this is something I've wanted in the game for ages. I love the snow at Christmas, it's great. I love the leaves kind of blowing at Halloween, obviously in the autumn season when we have the leaves kind of blowing. These are great. Why not improve that and have rain? Let's have some rain. Let's have some wind maybe, like the trees flapping. I know it's going to be like more animations, I get that, but Come on. And actually, maybe not even the waves, the wind thing. They could just do rain. I think rain would be fairly easy for them to animate. Rain, snow, and the autumn leaves. That would be perfect. Those three would be enough for me. And basically, there should be an option where you can either change it. So say if you want it to snow, you can click the snow and then everything will turn to snow. Or you can like click rain and everything, it'll be raining. Or you can click autumn and it'll be autumn. Or alternatively, there could be like just a cycle, right? So it just changes every so often, like randomly in your game. Or maybe there's an option for both. So basically, you can choose the weather. Now, I think there's a chance that they could add this in a Christmas update. At least the snow thing. I feel like a snow like a snow generator is a possibility for the future. Something where you can like click or remove the snow. Maybe even Homer's Plow. We haven't got Homer's Plow in the game, right? Yeah. So I don't know. We could be. Maybe there's like an animation for Homer's Plow and you click it and it's like you can put do the I don't know scoop up the snow or kind of sign off. Don't scoop up the snow, and then maybe the snow's there. I don't know. Just an idea, but I just really would like to see more weather cycles in the game and more freedom for players to actually choose what weather cycles they can actually have in the game. Because I like snow. It'd be cool to have snow in the summer. Why not? It'd be cool to see items with snow on it and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I just personally think that it'd be a pretty awesome feature if we could change the weather when we like. Moving on. Damn it. Moving on is... Number 6 is better selection tool, or further a further radius on it, or and also you're able to separate items in the inventory. So I haven't really talked about this before, but in recent months and kind of I guess last year, ever since they've added the selection tool, I love the selection tool. I think it's great. However, my one criticism about it is the radius on it, like how much you can kind of drag and how much you can actually get in that selection, if you will. It's not enough for me. Some of my designs are really, really big, so when I want to like move them somewhere, the selection tool, I'd have to do it in like 3 parts, and it's a little bit annoying personally. I just think for me and designing and because I move my stuff around all the time, for me personally, this is kind of a big thing. I want the radius to be improved on. I think radius is the right word, but I want the distance the selection tool goes, I want that to be improved. But I also think that you should be able to actually separate things in the inventory. So for example, when it has like all the items, you can be like kind of delete from design sort of thing. So say if you have a Simpsons house, and there's the Simpsons house and a picket fence, and there's the pool and there's some trees, and there's also Homer's car, and you don't want Homer's car to be in the design anymore, but instead of like placing it and then removing it, you can just be like, remove car, remove fence, remove, instead of like having to like tediously kind of place it and then sell stuff and then kind of move stuff around. I don't know, it just improves the kind of feature overall. But the main thing I definitely want is it just being able to be dragged further is just a big thing for me. I love the selection tool. I think it's actually one of the better features that we've got. I put it over the sky finger monument. I put it over the portrait picture thing. It's the best. It's the best feature, and I just want it to be perfect. So, it's number 6. Number 5 is a building census. So we've obviously got the town census in the town hall, where you click on the town census and you can obviously find characters. I think there should be a building census. Now they could add some sort of building society or scaffolding, I don't know, anything really, but basically add something in the game where there will be like a little census on it. You click it and you can find certain buildings in your town. It has a list of all the buildings and you can find them. Now the reason why I think this is important is I lose buildings all the time. My town is so huge, I can't find certain buildings a lot of the time. You've probably watched videos of mine, like premium gameplays, where I'm trying to like be like, this looks like this building, and I try and find said building and I can't, because it's impossible. My town is huge, and so I think it would be really, really awesome if they had a building census similar to the town hall, but I also want it to be improved, because we'll get onto the town hall in a minute, the town hall census, but I want there to be some sort of building census so I can actually find all the buildings in my town without having to like scroll through my town trying to look for them. Just a personal thing for me. I think it's kind of important, but I can understand if people obviously don't care as much about this, just because I know some people have obviously smaller towns, so it's a lot easier for them to find buildings, and some people have it ordered in a way where they have everything in certain sections, so they're able to find stuff very easily. I get that. I'm not really like that. I kind of I don't know. I'm really weird with my town designs. I'm constantly moving stuff and redoing stuff. Even if it's like small little things. I really need to do my heights again because my height is awful and I've not changed it in like 4 years. But yeah. But anyway, building census I just think would be really cool to have. So yeah. Number 4 is a night mode. This is a really popular thing that a lot of players want in the game. And I understand why. It would be really cool to see town at night. Now, I separated this from the weather cycle because I do think it is slightly different. And I think it would be better. I personally, I'm pretty on board with it. I think it would be really cool to get it. Obviously, someone here has just kind of done it themselves. Like, they've obviously changed the kind of the lighting of the town, and they've kind of lit up all the windows and stuff, and the lampposts and all this. Really great. It would actually make the lampposts so much more important, because obviously you'd have to design them to actually light up the town at night. But yeah, I think it would be a really cool feature to get this in the game. Basically, how it could work is, depending on your time zone, when it's nighttime for you, or they could do it to like a set time. They don't have to do it exactly to when the sun sets, but maybe like 6 o'clock or something. They could, or 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. or 6 p.m. or whatever in your time zone. If it's 6 p.m. in your time zone, maybe your town goes from day to night. Yeah, and I think it'd be a cool feature. Just to see the town kind of doused in darkness. It would be really awesome to have. Or alternatively, there can be a feature, like a decoration or a building or something, where you click it and it turns the town to night. Those are the two options there. I'm cool with either. I'd be cool if it was done by time zones, or if it was done by some sort of feature that you clicked. Now, I was very disappointed that the sundial that we got in the Who Shot Mr. Burns update didn't do that, because that would have made total sense. But I understand why. There's a few more buildings that definitely could be added that would also do this. But yeah, overall, I think night mode would be excellent, and I really hope they do add it in the future. It's quite a popular thing. A lot of people want it in a night mode. A lot of people are talking about it. So I kind of see this being a possibility in the future, because the portrait thing was a big thing as well in the past as well. People were talking about how they wanted a way to actually take a screenshot of their entire town, and then they came out with the portrait feature, and now a lot of people are talking about night modes. So I think the night mode is definitely a possibility in the future. Number 3 is a fix to the character collection / add a costume collection. So I have voiced my opinions in the past about the character collection. It's really broken. It's extremely broken. It's not ordered. It's not consistent. Like, I don't mind them adding costumes as long as every single costume is in the game, is actually in there. Personally, though, I'd rather they actually separate the costumes and the characters, because costumes aren't the same thing. They're a different thing in the game. They're a skin for a character. So just like you have skins for buildings. So personally, what I want them to do is separate the two and give us some character costume collections. So the costume collections, they could be done by character. So you have like Homer's costumes, Marge's costumes, Bart's costumes, blah blah blah, or it could just be done by event. Personally, I think I lean more towards the character thing, just because, for me anyway, it makes more sense. That way, obviously, you can figure out what costumes you have, what you don't have. Makes it easier, I think, personally, but that's just me. And then the character collections, I just want them to be kind of more consistent with what they put stuff in. I would rather they not put, if they're gonna do it by event, for example, at least be consistent with it. When you have a character like Ned's parents, don't add them to Ned's family, add them to the Love Springfieldian style, because that's the update that came in. I don't mind them doing it by levels or characters or whatever. I just rather they pick one, right? Instead of like trying to do like they do some families, and then there's some families that they don't put them in. Like, for example, Herb Powell is just in more business owners, when he maybe should be in like an extended Simpsons family category. Yeah, I don't know. That's just me. I think it'd be better if they just improve the character collection. It is really broken. for me. I've hated it for years. I've ranted about it many times. So let's not get into a rant, a massive one anyway. Yeah. So overall, just fix the character collection, add a costume collection. They can use like a coat hanger. You click the coat hanger, and it has like Homer. So imagine this says Homer's costumes, and it just has all of Homer's costumes here. Perfect. Anyway, moving on. Number 2 is an updated / better town census, including NPCs. So I haven't really ranted about this as much as I have other things like the character collection, but the town hall is awful. If I want to find Zootroy, I have to sit there scrolling for ages. What I think would be better if it's done by letter. So when you click town census, it has like what letter do you want, and they could use the scroll thing for that. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, do the whole alphabet. So you click the letter you want first, and then it has like a list of all the costumes with that. Sorry, with all the characters with that letter. That is the easiest fix they could do on it. They don't even have to do much. There's just 2 little things. So like the letter in the. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Say if I want to find Homer, so I scroll down to H, which wouldn't take me very long. There's only 26 letters. I don't even know how many letters are in the alphabet. You guys know. I don't know. I think it's 26. Who knows? So say if I want to find Homer, I find H. I click obviously the H, and then I have to scroll through a few characters to obviously find Homer. But it's not going to be as much as say for example if I want to find Zootroy, I'll have to scroll through. Like over 300 characters to get to him, and there is like you can't like scroll it and it goes all the way down. It's like you have to sit there going like, you know, I'm trying to like not verbally. I'm trying to verbally explain the inconvenience I face when I'm trying to find characters with the letters X, Y, or Z. Yeah. So anyway, that is it for the top kind of 2 anyway. Sorry, the top 9. We of course come on to the number 1, which is bam, a search bar for the inventory. Now I think a search bar for the inventory is the only reason why I don't see them adding it is because the only reason I don't see them adding a search bar for the inventory is because we haven't got any other feature in the game apart from like the login screen where like the keyboard like pops up, right? So, and I know when you like click out of the app, for example, when I click out of the app to hit record, it kind of freezes the game, and I feel like that keypad might kind of cause some performance issues. Maybe that's wrong, maybe that's not right, but personally I could see that becoming an issue. So maybe the option is actually the same thing I said for the town census. Instead of like a search bar as such, it's just like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And so you click the letter that you want, and then you kind of scroll through all the items that begin with that letter. That could work, or they could actually just add a search bar full stop. I don't know. I'm just kind of leaning towards maybe there could be performance issues. I don't know. It might not be. That might not be the case at all. I have nothing. I know nothing about app development, but I just know from like certain apps that I've seen in the past. Sometimes like things that include like typing and stuff can sometimes crash or cause, you know, some sort of issue, or like kind of freeze the game or make it lag and stuff like this. I'm just trying to think kind of critically about this idea. But I think a search bar for the inventory and also the store as well, a search bar would be so awesome. It would just improve stuff so much. It's the worst part is when I'm trying to find something I want to place and I can't find it. It's so annoying. And I think as a kind of side suggestion, if you will, is maybe just more categories for the store and inventory. So you know how you have like miscellaneous, like town buildings, you know, things like that, like stuff, categories for certain items, buildings, characters, and then with decorations it's like, I don't know if it's retail, whatever it is, but like stuff like that kind of separates, maybe more categories that separate items, because some items actually overlap anyway into certain categories. So that would actually, it's not like they haven't done it. I think maybe more categories would also be another option they could do that would help with trying to find stuff in your inventory. Either one really, but I personally would prefer a search bar. I just think that would be so So good. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I'm a little ranty and ravey. I don't write scripts for these videos, I'll be honest. But yeah, those are the features that I want to see in the game. I think all of these would be really, really awesome if they were added. Any of these would be great, but obviously I want the search bar the most. Town census second, obviously including NPCs as well, so you can actually find those NPCs. Fixing the character collection, night mode would be cool. Building census, better selection tool I think is important. Changing the weather, that'd be cool. Cars on the road, that one's okay. This one's I'm like okay, and this one I'm like okay. But the rest I really would like. The selection tool, changing the weather, the cars on the road. I mean, I want them all. I want them all. So we got loads of features last year. I'm really disappointed we haven't got as many this year, but I'm hoping, I'm praying that we get more in the future. The game is still earning a lot of money, so we can hope. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me your thoughts on this video. Tell me any features I didn't include that you would like to see in the game. If you've got some other suggestions, please do tell me. I would be interested to hear. And yeah, thanks for watching as always. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.